Working on this 2010 Audi A4 with the 2.0 turbo. I'm gonna do an oil change, just like you would at the house without the special evacuation pump you can use from the top, which Audi service dealers use. But most of us don't have that, so we're just gonna use an old-fashioned jack and a jack stand and get to it. Alright, so I'm on the passenger side of the car because the oil pan is on the driver's side. So if I lift up the passenger side, it'll drain farther to the driver's side over there. Down here, this is under the car. Looking for a place to set this jack on the pinch weld. And let's jack it up high enough to get a jack stand under it and make sure that we've got enough room to do some work. Alright, tires off the ground. See if we got room to put a jack stand under here. Almost, not yet. Okay, and when possible, I like to leave my jack and the jack stand there together, just for fail-safe. So this top cover needs to come off. It just pops off. And then here's our oil filter. Okay, so we're now getting under the car. And if you've got this undercarriage shield piece, whatever you want to call it, you have to take this entire piece off to change the oil. And there's these little screws that are down here, but they're not regular screws. And let me take one out for you. So here's what they look like. They've got like a twisted locking mechanism. So it's not just a regular screw that goes up in there. And it's a wide tip Phillips bit that fits it. So instead of having to take this off every time, you have to disconnect it from the wheel flap and everything. I just created a little cutout and hinged it with this strap, and that way I can just unhook these two bolts and flop it down. So we'll take a look at that. So I just used what I had around the house, and these are 7mm head just screws. Okay, so those screws are out, and then just pull this down, push it back out of the way, and then there's the drain plug right there. Alright, let's get your drain pan under where it goes. It didn't have to be under right at the time. You just want to get your plug broke loose. It's a 17 mil. Alright, so let's get it loose so you can get your finger on it. And we'll see. We'll reach up in there and just back that out and let it rip into the drain pan. And then move your drain pan so it all stays in there. This is why I like to move to a disposable glove when I do this instead of ruining my good gloves. So if you have one of these OEM filters, they do make a oil filter wrench specifically for those, and they fit well. Just use it to take it off. I don't know why it comes in a 1/2-inch drive. It should never be that tight, but alright, so you can use a Fram. It's pH 10600, but I just wanted to show you the difference in the height. Not too far off. And actually they cost about the same. You can buy these online for about the same as you can get these at Walmart or whatever. And this one, if you wanted to use the wrench to take it off, 74 to 76 millimeter fits it. I always like to add a little bit of oil to the new filter. Let me put them in there. Be sure you add just a little bit of oil to the O-ring to help keep it from sticking. And after you put the oil on it, just rub it around that gasket right there. It'll help keep it from seizing and to have this rubber piece from sticking to the block. Also, just FYI, in here there's this little spring insert they have in here. Just make sure that that is in there when you do this. Alright, so it's just now bottoming out, and you just want to give it a couple of little turns. We don't want to wrench on it. We just want it to be snug. All it's doing is keeping the filter attached to the body. It's not holding anything urgently in place that's going to pop off, right? So don't over tighten it. Okay, so we're done draining down below. Need to clean off our plug. And it's got a crush washer on it. Obviously you should replace those every other oil change, or every oil change if you want, but whichever. This one's been used once. So you can see it seeping out a little bit. So I'm going to put this drain plug in it. Maybe I'm not. So make sure it's not cross-threading. Yeah, so it's going there good now. And I like to wipe it off before I tighten it down, get that gunk out of it. And move your drain pin out of the way. Grab your wrench or socket set or whatever you're using. And just snug, right? Again, you don't want to strip that out at all. So just snug, and we'll wipe it off. And then we'll put this back in its place. Screw it down. Alright, so now I'm going to let the car back down so that when I put the oil in, it'll be level, so when I need to check it. So we'll take this back down. So most of these new jugs of oil are going to have some sort of a safety top on here. You just need to pull that back. Don't drop it in the oil because you don't want that in your engine. Alright, so we're going to remove our oil cap, put our clean funnel in, and we're just going to pour in the oil. The service manual says it takes 4.8 quarts. I just put in all 5, you know. Audis are known to burn oil anyway. If you want to, you can pull the dipstick out before you start filling it, so that when you do put it back in a few minutes, you get a more accurate read instead of having to wipe it off the first time, but really irrelevant either way. So now we've got to dispose of the old oil. So I'll take my clean funnel, put it in where I just poured the oil from. Make sure you put your oil cap back on, don't want any contaminants in there. And then we'll take the old used oil and put it back in that jug. So I'm just going to take this jug of oil and pour it into this jug of oil. and then I can just dispose of it easier and carry it in that jug. You can fast forward if you want. I'm just going to pour the oil because my hands are dirty. I'm not going to stop. And it's always good to see how much oil came back out of the car after your 3,000 to 5,000 mile oil change, whatever you prefer. I think I'm about 4,200 miles, something like that. What's that, about 4.5 quarts? That's not bad. Alright, let's give it a check. Give it the initial wipe off. Yep, it's full and it's clean. Something else I like to do is when I'm done is put an X on the lid and on the jug. Easy for me to identify what needs to go to the recycling center and what doesn't. Hope this video helped you out. If it did, give me a like and a subscribe. And good luck on your oil change. Thanks.